playing the ACC trophy till 2010 and 2012 as well. They were the joint winner of that trophy against UAE.
Straight to the fielder. Sandeep Jora does the fielding. So Paresh, since you were playing that game in 2000, what don't you tell us about it?
Well, they were not as much as good as they are right now in Japan. To be honest, I'll come straight to you, Lenny. I was out for a duck.
You've given away the story. You've given away the thing I wanted to say. You've told everyone the punchline before it happens. Japan batted first, made 133. Nepal chased it 3 down in 20 overs in a 50-over match. They won comfortably. Kiran Agarwal made 53 not out. But the great man to my right, Paresh Lahani, out for a duck against Japan. Down the leg side, the radar a little errant from both Yadav and Kami thus far. Just seeing if I can find the scorecard here, Paresh. You were out for a duck, I see it there. What happened?
I don't remember. It was 25 years ago, but I actually don't remember that. But talking about Nandan Yadav in the first game against Kuwait, his radar was also not right. That is why Captain Powell took him off this attack and brought him back again, and then he took a wicket. He's struggling to maintain his line of length to the left and right hand combination.
I think it's a little bit of the new ball factor as well, because he got such good movement under the floodlights the other night with that away swing. I don't know if he's gone back to cross seam from that last delivery, potentially. You see a few players like this with a very new white ball, it just moves too much for them. And as a consequence, they kind of prefer to bowl in the maybe 5th, 6th, 7th over, and that movement's gone.
Yeah, these Kookaburra balls, they only swing for, let's say, 3 or 4 overs. After that, no swing whatsoever. If the pitch helps, if there's a grass, you can get lateral movement.
Yeah, it is a fascinating part of those Kookaburra match balls with the white ball format. Obviously, red ball is very different, but really can only get 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 overs. There's a bit of movement there. Look at that back in. Get through for a quick single, well dealt with by Kadawaki Fleming. For Japan, what's the greater challenge here? I suppose processing the emotions of last night, playing against a higher ranked opposition, 2 games in 2 days. There's a lot stacked against them here. It's not going to be easy.
Actually, yesterday's game is, let's talk about its history now. They've won the game. They've into the Super Sixes. They have to focus on this game. It's a bit of nerves for both the batters. We can see that the feet are not moving well. They are tentative, playing against a quality bowling attack like Nepal.
Short and wide, gets away with that one really, Yadav. Slightly errant over, but it only goes for 5. It's 11 for none.
सेल्फी सिर्फ फेस दी जदों फेस वर्गा ग्लो बॉडी ते होवे तां मिल गई सेल्फी वेरी बारी स्माइल मेरी बात ते पॉट होवे हिप्स ते नेक ते सदा नवा पॉन्ड्स बॉडी लोशन नाइसिनामाइड लिपिड्स ਅਤੇ ग्लिसरीन ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਡੀਪ ਮॉइਸਚਰਾਈਜ਼ ਅਤੇ ਬ੍ਰਾਈਟਨ ਕਰੇ ਅਤੇ ਦੇਵੇ ਫੇਸ ਵਰਗਾ ਗਲੋ ਬॉडी ਤੇ ਪॉन्ड्स ब्राइट ब्यूटी बॉडी लोशन.
A lot of these associates are very capable of beating the full member nations now. Again.
भैया कानपुर की बस है ना?
हाँ भैया.
कितने का? 500?
650 का है.
अरे भैया 650 कैसे हुआ? अरे 500 लगाओ.
अरे भैया 650 यार.
500.
गजब डिस्काउंट चाहिए. डायरेक्ट बस करो. ये टाइम पास स्किप करो.
काम करो तुम साइकिल से आ जाओ भैया. चलो चलो पहलवान. बढ़ाओ.
अरे भैया 500.
But they haven't lost any wickets yet. Just a cautious start. 11 for none halfway through the power play.
Again, the ball angling away from the left-hander. Fleming trying to drive that. Missed it completely. Back to the keeper. Sompal, after the first match, he's been in very good rhythm. Just angling the ball away from the left-hander. Usually, Sompal Kaming gets the ball dart into the left-hander with his natural outswingers to the right-hander. This time around, he just pushed his wrist towards the slips. That is why the ball went across the left-hander.
And this time, shapes back in. Oh, direct hit. It's going to be gone. Well, he's at it again, isn't he? Dipender Singh Airi, maybe not quite as dramatic as the one that's gone viral on ICC social media pages, but it's yet another direct hit. You've got to pick your fielders, and there is one rule. We've seen it all over social media. The first part of the rule, do not run one to Dipender Singh Airi. The second part, listen to the first part.
Anand was very slow off to take off the mark, and Dipender Singh Airi hitting the stumps. This is the second time he's hit the stumps in this tournament so far. Both the batters were tentative.
Very tentative, and you cannot run one in the same.
ओ भैया आगरा ही बस है क्या हाँ आगरा है हाँ और दिल्ली हाँ कानपुर हाँ बनारस
यूपी के कोने कोने का सफर रेड बस पर करो। ये टाइम पास स्किप करो।
बनारस पहुंच तो लिया कहाँ से आ जाते हैं क्या करेंगे
ओ भैया ओ पूरे लखनऊ की कसम खा के कह रहा हूँ ये रुमाल पहले मैंने डाला था।
रुमाल हमने डाला था।
अरे मैंने डाला था।
अरे हमने डाला था। अरे भैया बताओ हमने डाला।
मनपसंद सीट के लिए रेड बस करो। ये टाइम पास स्किप करो।
मैंने डाला था।
अरे हमने डाला था।
रुमाल मैंने डाला था।
रुमाल हमने डाला था। रुमाल हम ही डाले।
You playing against a higher ranked team. The team.
आ गया
हाँ
कानपुर की बस है ना
हाँ भैया
कितने का 500
650 का है।
अरे भैया 650 कैसे हुआ अरे 500 लगाओ
अरे भैया 650 यार।
500
गजब डिस्काउंट चाहिए रेड बस करो। ये टाइम पास स्किप करो।
काम करो तुम साइकिल से आ जाओ भैया। चलो चलो पहलवान बढ़ाओ बढ़ाओ।
अरे भैया 500 में कौन सी साइकिल आती है अरे जान दो
Very tentative Japan.
Yeah, the last man. Well, in this competition, maybe in world cricket you want to run a single too. Now in comes Rahman, who will be on strike. And a slight change in the order because initially we'd been indicated it might have been Sabarish Ravichandran. Here's the run out, straight at him. The backing up is poor, but I think even if it was perfect, he would have been run out. Look at how far he is out here. 3 yards, not even got the back grounded yet. And it's all just happened a bit too quickly. I made that rabbit in the headlights reference. That was rabbit in the headlights there.
Exactly, that was.
Oh, sensational again. Interesting by Reed. The Tiger. Down the leg side, doesn't flick anything, giving us a wide. Hunting down his prey, just what he does.
It's exactly what the tigers or the cheetahs do against the hare. They just hunt them down. That was down to the leg side. Sompal Kami is just bowling good deliveries, 2 or 3 good deliveries, and trying to do something different. That is why it's going away from the right-hander, going down to the leg side, or going away from the right-hander.
Clubbed away. That's more like it for Japan. Not going to get to the rope. Still haven't seen a boundary yet. But Rahman will get off the mark with a brace. Nepal will have watched the game yesterday, as Rohit Paudel said at the toss. Will they have been happy with that? Or disappointed with that? Because obviously if Kuwait had won, they would have been guaranteed, barring a big defeat to Japan, to take 2 points and a good net run rate through to the Super 6. Now they've got to win today and do the same.
Well, it's not that. Whenever teams play a qualifier or whatever the tournament is,
chipped in the air and chipped safely. Again, not going to have the power to get to the rope, but Rahman is trying to exploit the power play at least, doing a better job than Anand did. It's such a funny one. I don't know who they'll have been kind of cheering for. They've probably been watching the game and just looking to learn as much about the Japanese opposition as they could. But it is a surreal, because of the way of the format. The kind of the win for Japan has robbed them of what was almost a certainty of taking through a really good 2 points with a good net run rate. They can still do that by beating Japan with a big win today. But it's just a sort of slightly surreal one, isn't it? End of the fourth. It's 16 for 1.
ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਦੀ ਵਾੜੀ ਵਿੱਚ
ਇਹ ਰਸੀਲੇ ਲਾਲ ਟਮਾਟਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿੱਥੇ
ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਸਭ ਦੀ ਵੀ
ਹੁਣ 15 ਨਹੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ 10 ਰੁਪਏ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਕੈਚਅਪ ਦਾ ਛੋਟੂ ਪੈਕ ਹੁਣ ਸਭ ਦੀ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਵਿੱਚ
किसान
आ गया
हाँ
कानपुर की बस है ना
हाँ भैया
कितने का 500
650 का है।
अरे भैया 650 कैसे हुआ अरे 500 लगाओ
अरे भैया 650 यार।
500
गजब डिस्काउंट चाहिए रेड पास करो ये टाइम पास स्किप करो
काम करो तुम साइकिल से आ जाओ भैया चलो चलो पहलवान बढ़ाओ बढ़ाओ
अरे भैया 500 में कौन सी साइकिल आती है अरे जान दो भैया
यार
I don't remember.
Nandan Yadav to continue. He's carved away. Good shots. And the first boundary will go to the skipper. Kendall Karawaki Fleming. Well, just a lovely extension of the arms. Width on offer. Cashes in.
Short and wide. Just went under the ball and cut it over the point fielder.
Stature. So his release point, which can be reasonably round arm at times, it means you're not going to get a lot of bounce. And he's a very clever bowler. He watches the batter intently before he releases it. Always an important over this sixth. Japan need a boundary or two. Those boundaries just don't look like they're coming.
No, he has to do something different, Rahman. That is what he did the last ball. He went, gave himself room, tried to play over the offside. All the fielders are inside the circle in the offside.
Looks for the boundary, but a good piece of fielding. Gulshan Jazz fielding, well, in the Unity Cup against the West Indies, it was sensational. And he has significantly enhanced his third string, the batting, bowling all-rounder. Super work, 3 runs saved.
Gulshan Jai has improved his fielding a lot, even his batting. He was first bowling all-rounder.
That's a bit more like it, and that's the intent that Japan need, and it'll be the skipper who hits the third boundary of the innings, his third too, to round out Dipender Singh Ari's second over. He's got none for 10. The power play, well, Japan coming back into it. They are 31 for 1.
माझे 10x freshness कपड़ा रहे all day fresh
Boom, we've seen the way in which they chase those runs down against Kuwait.
एक दिन किसान दी वाड़ी विच
मेरे पहुंच ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿੱਥੇ
हो गई ना ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਸਭ ਦੀ ਵੀ
ਹੁਣ 15 ਨਹੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ 10 ਰੁਪਏ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਕੈਚਅਪ ਦਾ ਛੋਟੂ ਪੈਕ ਹੁਣ ਸਭ ਦੀ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਵਿੱਚ
किसान
But that is why the run out was created.
It was this man who was the hero, Isam Rahman, with 64 off just 39 balls. Gives it a really good tap. He was in good form in the warm-ups too. Sandeep Lamachani comes into the attack, and you'd imagine his 4 overs against a side who won't have played against him unless somebody, I think actually, was it this man Rahman who played in the top end T20 for the Northern Territory side? I think he might have. So maybe, if memory serves correct, I think he got out for a low score. So maybe he's the only one with that single down the ground. He's actually faced any of these Nepal bowlers before. It's going to be a bit of X factor here, and I like the move from Rohit Patel to get the slip in place.
There's a slip in place, a short third, a deep point, and short extra, and long off. On the off starts with a googly to the left-hander, nicely picked up and played it late towards the boundary.
Very well read, yeah. For Isam Rahman, born in Kyushu, one of the, there's so many cities in Japan. Both of his Bangladeshi origin parents were studying in Japan at the time. As a reverse sweep comes out, hits the pad, but I think probably a little bit too far down, maybe a bit too much bounce. Signal will be interesting. He's given his leg by, so no bat involved, but Shiju Sam couldn't be talked in or convinced that that was going to go on and hit the stumps.
I think it was struck outside the line of off stump. That was a leg spinner, not a googly.
I think in addition to that, you're right. Probably going on to miss the off stump alongside it, so not a lot going for that appeal. Lamachani has the headband on today. Goes with that googly. I think that's pitched outside leg. Lamachani interested, but you've got to get it to pitch in line, and when you turn it as far as he does, it's difficult against the left-hander over the wicket.
Very good decision again by the umpire. That was definitely pitching outside the leg stump.
Yeah, for me, it's a more attacking option to come around the wicket as a leg spinner to the left-hander. It also then brings that LBW into more likelihood. Another googly, sticking with the googly to the left-hander. You can see the mystery and the magic from Lamachani.
He might slip in a leg spinner. This very delivery. 3 googlies to the left-hander.
Could be the setup. 2 consecutive, 3 in total in this over to Fleming. And I think it's another wrong one out of the back of the hand. So it goes with 4 on the bounce. Good first over from Lamachani, only 3 off the bat from it. 35 for 1.
क्या देवर जी ब्रश किए बिना ही जा रहे हो?
ब्रश ही तो कर रहा हूँ।
मिट्टी वाले से क्लोजअप नहीं किया तो समझो ब्रश ही नहीं किया देवर जी।
क्योंकि सिंक ताजगी वाला नया क्लोजअप अब दे सबसे ज्यादा ताजगी। बड़ा क्लोजअप अब सिर्फ 55 रुपए में।
And save the 4. Good powerful slog sweep as the matchup, which is a good one for Japan. Left-handed batter taking on the left arm spinner, starts well. They have learnt the lesson. Don't run one to Dipendra Singh Airi.
This was straight to his hand.
Yeah, that time not even a consideration, and rightly so. A little flatter, and you can see that Rajbanshi's doing everything he can just to keep it away from the leg side. He'll prefer bowling to the right-hander now. The field will change significantly. Very well drilled, Nepal, aren't they? You see, they don't even really need to hear a shout from the captain or the bowler. They know where they need to be, despite the left-hand, right-hand combo.
That is what the brilliant mind of all the players. Another quick single. Oh.
Couldn't quite do his best Irie impersonation with the run out off his own bowling. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. One of the weaker fielders in the side, Rajbanshi, but he made a really good effort at this. I think it would have been tight, really, really tight with a direct hit. Might have stayed in the batter's favour because we don't have the third umpire for line decisions to check upstairs. A very, very close call there. Good fielding. Fleming happy to go through the offside. Absolute game of cat and mouse we're witnessing between the two left-handers.
Seven runs of this over so far. Only 5 balls has been bowled. Rahman is doing a good thing as he's giving the strike to Fleming, the left-hander, against the left-arm spinner.
looks for the big slog sweep, gets a good piece, and is going to get the first maximum. In fact, yeah, the arms will be extended. It's very bright here, so difficult for us to pick it up as well. But the fielder just watched it soar over his head. Raman's at it again.
There was no hint of a turn. The ball went straight into the right-hander. Good pickup shot, slog sweep over mid-wicket for a 6. After 8 overs, Japan doing really good, 48.
ਹਾਈਡਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਹੈ ਐਰੀ, ਵੇਟਲੈਸ ਅਤੇ ਕਲਾਉਡ ਸੌਫਟ। ਨਵੀਂ ਵੈਸਲੀਨ ਕਲਾਉਡ ਸੌਫਟ ਕਰੀਮ ਸੈਰਾਮਾਈਡ ਹਾਈਲੂਰੋਨ ਮੋਇਸਚਰ ਫਿਲਰਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਤਵਚਾ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਵੇ 10 ਗੁਣਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹਾਈਡਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ, ਨਾਨ ਸਟਿਕੀ ਅਤੇ ਫਾਸਟ ਅਬਜ਼ੌਰਬਿੰਗ ਟੈਕਸਚਰ ਵਿੱਚ। ਪਲਮ ਕਲਾਉਡ ਸੌਫਟ ਤਵਚਾ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਨਵਾਂ ਵੈਸਲੀਨ।
Rio Sakurano Thomas at 6, and Charlie Harahinze, who is just 17 years old, incredibly. Cannot give that out. And Sandeep Lamachani, he needs to learn that, Paresh, because that's pitched so far outside the leg stump. You're almost kind of doing yourself more damage by appealing for this one.
He's intimidating the umpire, Sandeep Lamachani. That was pitched way outside the leg stump.
Bit of the boy who cried wolf, though, as well, because if you keep appealing, it's just going to end up then, as soon as you get one plumb, the umpire will end up turning it down. Now goes down the ground and hits it ever so elegantly. Well, that's a glorious stroke. It's the shot of the innings without doubt. It's one of the shots of the tournament thus far for me, because it's against the spin slightly. I think it's the googly, but it's given enough air for Fleming to get underneath it and go all the way. The 50 comes up in majestic, magnificent style.
It was overpitched by Sandeep Lamachani and given a bit of air as well. That was a googly. Well picked up by Fleming and hit it straight down the ground for a 6. This is a good start for Japan.
And the ball's been lost. I think it's been hit down, possibly even over the car park, which is an almighty hit. Take a look at this. Staggering stroke. Japan showing they are very much not here just to make up the numbers in this now virtual Super 6 stage of the competition. They are here to compete in a big way. Battled through a few tough periods through the power play, now getting his reward. And Nepal just left a little dumbfounded. And there's a big meeting, isn't there, of 5, 6, 7 players up alongside Lamachani at the bowlers. Bertel alongside his leg spinning teammate. And they're having a big long discussion, aren't they? As well as getting a banana in with the heat. Just to work out what the best plan is to Fleming, because he's clearly picking up the leg spinner quite nicely. I'd like to see Lamachani go round the wicket.
Yeah, bowling, changing his angle can do different things for the left-hander. He's still persisting to go over the wicket, not changing his angle, Sandeep Lamachani.
See, the problem for me is if you come over the wicket, you are simply taking LBW out of the equation with everything bar your leg break. So I haven't got it across telepathically to him, but he now will come around the wicket. I think this brings in more modes of dismissal to the left-hander. But Fleming just goes again. It's almost an action replay, not quite as big this time. Back-to-back maximums. Superb stuff from Japan. Outstanding from the skipper. And after their biggest win in their history, they're starting to take the game to Nepal.
This is brilliant batting by Fleming. Back-to-back success against a top quality bowler like Sandeep Lamachani. This time around, it was a bit flatter, but still fuller. That is why he picked it up straight down the ground.
Again, I think it's the wrong, and he can bowl a sharp turning leg break, which he has. Goes to the googly yet again, guided away. Exceptional batting. 3 consecutive boundaries. 6, 6, and now 4. He's bowled every delivery as far as I've read them as googlies to Fleming, and Fleming's picked every one of them.
This is a very good shot. He waited for the ball to come to him and played it in the gap. The placement was so good that it rolled into the boundary line.
And game on all of a sudden. For much of the first 3 or 4 overs, those early initial nervy skirmishes between the two sides, you sense that Nepal's consistency and quality was going to outclass the Japanese before the match had started. Kendall Fleming is showing that it's going to be anything but that. He's moved into the 40s already. Over the wicket now. Goes to the googly again, and it's hit maybe just shy of Lamachani, who throws in, probably a bit frustrated. Don't think this carried.
No, I don't think so. It carried. Actually, Sunday Blamachani, I think he's trying too much to go for the wicket. Just bowl your ball, bowl normal bowling, mix your leg spin, mix your googlies.
Does go with the leg break, I think, that time, finally. And it will just be a single down the ground. But great batting. It's a really good over. 17 runs have come from it all together at the end of the ninth. 65 for 1.
ऐप पिगमेंटेशन है अति सॉल्यूशन लोड है एडवांस डर्मा ट्रीटमेंट दी लैक्मे परफेक्ट रेडियंस दा पावर डुओ एएम इस्तेमाल करो नाइसिनामाइड जेल क्रीम स्किन नु ब्राइटन अति प्रोटेक्ट करे पीएम प्रो रेटिनॉल सीरम स्किन सेल्स रिन्यू करे फ्लॉलेस रेडियंट स्किन 2 हफ्तियां विच लैक्मे परफेक्ट रेडियंस
इस दुनिया में कोई अमर नहीं है और उनका जो कुछ भी है सब उनके पोते का ही होने वाला है
हम उनसे निकाह करने से अच्छा मरना पसंद करते हैं देखिए गोल्डन बॉय सीजन 2 हिंदी में ओनली ऑन Amazon MX Player.
Up at about 140. Outstanding stuff from the captain, leading from the front as Irie comes in for his third. Just looks in a really good place at the moment with his bowling, Dipender Singh Irie.
Yes, he is. He's very accurate. Again, nicely played down the ground. They are watching the ball. They are not just like trying to hit the ball. They are just watching the ball, playing with the merit of the ball. This is extremely good batting by Japan.
And Nepal's 12th player, the famous 12th man of the nation, is starting to try and rouse their charges. They need it. They're yet to take a wicket with their bowlers. The only wicket to fall the run out. Irie somehow misfields one off his own bowling. Don't see that too often. Will allow the single. But that's a huge achievement in this first half of this first innings. Having lost the toss, being asked to bat first, the only wicket we've seen was a run out to that man, Dipender Singh Irie.
The opening spell, it was a mixed bag by Nandan Yadav, bowling either side of stumps to the right-hander and the left-hander.
Should be at least a single. They'll push hard for the 2 and they'll get it. Again, a slight fumble from Kushal Bertel. It is hot out there. I know your real field temperature on your phone was saying, 37, 38, 39 degrees at points of yesterday. It feels like it's equally the same. What's the humidity at? 60% again, 67%. Real field, 38 degrees. Good diving stop from Powell, creates a run-out chance. Won't be given out. 38 degrees right now. Unbelievable, Paresh. Your technology you've got for me. Very good. As was the fielding there from Rohit Powell. Just one ball left before drinks here. Diving stop just out of screen, and the mix-up nearly created the chance, and just as well Raman dived. If he didn't, he could have been in trouble. But he's done himself a nuisance, needs a new pair of gloves with that dive. A few concerns here for Nepal. Japan looking good for 150, 160 plus.
Yes, definitely. In the 10th over, they are 69 for 1. Still one ball remaining of the 10th over. Japan, apart from the start in the power play, they have really done well. They have watched the ball clearly. The plan is very nice. They're playing it late. They are not going for the shots.
We will get the signal. Law is striding out with some purpose to his charges to talk to them during the drinks break. We'll have a break here too in the commentary box. Don't go anywhere too far. Japan are 70 for 1.
ऐप पिगमेंटेशन है अति सॉल्यूशन लोड है एडवांस डर्मा ट्रीटमेंट दी लैक्मे परफेक्ट रेडियंस दा पावर डुओ एएम इस्तेमाल करो नाइसिनामाइड जेल क्रीम स्किन नु ब्राइटन अति प्रोटेक्ट करे पीएम प्रो रेटिनॉल सीरम स्किन सेल्स रिन्यू करे फ्लॉलेस रेडियंट स्किन 2 हफ्तियां विच लैक्मे परफेक्ट रेडियंस
सब सुनाइको आदत लाइभमा पछाडि देख्दैन
The men's T20 World Cup qualifier, Asia and East Asia Pacific. It's a good start for Japan. 70 for 1 in 10 overs. Still 10 overs remain. If they can produce, let's say, 10 runs per over from now on, they'll reach easily 170. Still 9 wickets remaining.
Now, an interesting move, this one, and I think a really good one. We have not seen Gulshan Jah bowl a huge amount of late. Did watch him bowl after the win 2 days ago to Gyanendra, the assistant coach, with a very watchful Stuart Law and Nick Pothas for about, I reckon he probably bowled for about 6 or 7 overs. And there was a lot of encouragement from both Law and Pothas and Gyanendra, of course, but he hasn't bowled in any of the games since all the way back in the top end T20. But he's got a bit of pace and a bit of extra bounce because of his height. And you have to remember, the reason he's here in this team is he burst onto the scene as was it a 14 or 15-year-old who started to show the rarest of things in cricket in Nepal, which was pace and bounce, came up to Kathmandu without even a pair of bowling boots, and now is, well, one of the foremost players in the team, probably in the team as a batter who bowls occasionally, but he absolutely has the potential to be an out-and-out all-rounder. Pumped into the leg side. The form of Rahman, not just last night, but also making 50 in the warm-up game that came off just 31 balls against Samoa in a 5-wicket win. That is key because he hasn't got going yet. Fleming is the one driving the total. 160 plus on the cards here, Paresh.
It is. Definitely it is. If Nepal doesn't take 1 or 2 wickets quickly, they have to get rid of Fleming, who's batting very beautifully, 48 of 39.
Immediately just a bit of extra pace as Japan on the ropes are going to take on the second, and it's going to be 50. Well, a brilliant innings. He's going to have a bit of pain because the throw hits him as it comes in, but it's come off 40 deliveries, and you cannot help but argue he's deserved every bit of that. He was run out last night for 28th, but it's an 11th T20 International 50 to go alongside the 200s that he has. He's Japan's leading T20I run scorer, and he is very much putting Nepal to the sword and leaving the men from the Himalayas in trouble.
He must be very proud of himself, scoring a 50 against a top-ranked side, Nepal, who's played 2 T20 World Cups. Pulled away again behind square. There is a fielder they're looking for 2, but Nandan Yadav picks it up and throws the ball to the keeper. Now can see Nepali fielders and the support staff a bit worried because of this partnership.
Absolutely. And just a reminder for those maybe tuning in for the first time, it's no doubt the Nepalese diaspora all around the world and back there in Nepal. And this one's pulled away behind square. Going to get to the rope. 4 more. Raman joining the party now. Runs off every delivery of this jaw over. And Japan continuing to press their opposition, building up a very good second wicket partnership.
The 5 ball that Gulshan Jha has bowled has all been on the shorter side. All the balls have been pulled by either Raman or Fleming. So he has to change his length. He has to go a bit further, try to get the batsman to come onto the front foot.
Finally, a dot ball in the over, but 9 runs come from it as he does get a bit fuller. Good partnership, this Paresh, I have to say. They've played ever so nicely. Poor old Abhishek Anand looked like a fish out of water out there for the majority of that first 3 or 4 overs. But since he was dismissed with the score on 11, these two have put on 68 off 46. They've done it easily. If you're looking for an advertisement and an acknowledgement as to just how far this beautiful game of ours is spreading, just how good granting T20 international status has been for every member of the ICC, you need to look no further than today. They've already pulled off the biggest win in their history. As the captain Kendall Fleming said at the toss, they've already they're into bonus territory. Their goal was to reach the Super Sixes. They're already there. They're hovering towards dreamland now because they have Nepal in real trouble, as Kushal Bertel is called upon. And with his strike rate with the ball, I think it's a very good move. Nepal need wickets.
They definitely need wickets, not only one, a couple of wickets very soon. Talking about the partnership, it's a very good partnership between these two, Raman and Fleming.
Slog sweep comes out and gets it all the way right out of the screws as Fleming continues to attack. Doesn't take a look at Kushal Bertel. And looks like we have more runs in this surface than we had in the earlier games in the tournament. But another superb shot. Loves that slog sweep. Takes on the fielder in the deep. Gets it over the head of Dipender Singh Airi.
Just gets us on the bounce. It was not that fuller, but back of the length. Another attempted pull shot, but straight to long on. Just a single is in this time. This is impressive batting by Japan. The confidence that they got after beating Kuwait.
And the short ball helped away. And things are going from bad to worse here for Nepal. And real concern now. It's Raman getting in the act. It's another 6. This one, the first one for the right-hander. 2 sixes and 3 balls. Not the greatest delivery. And Nepal are being run ragged by a highly impressive, a jubilant Japan.
That was a half-tracker by Kushal Bertel on the leg side. Pulled it away down to mid-wicket region for a 6. Raman moves to 21. I think that graphics is on 27 of 18.
Yeah, graphics have just got caught behind there. There was a single after that 6 from Karawaki Fleming, and then Raman's taken the 3rd ball for 6. Already 13 from the over. It's driven very pleasingly. Should think of the 2nd, and because Jora tumbles, doesn't quite get to his feet quickly enough. The runs continue to come. Japan putting Nepal to the sword. Who would have seen this 48 hours ago?
This is extremely good batting by these two batsmen. After hitting a 6, just plays it down to long off, takes the 2nd run. This time around, a dot ball straight to Dipender Singh Airi.
Real story brewing here. Japan putting Nepal to the sword. This is a Nepal side that beat the West Indies twice 2 weeks ago. What a fantastic advert for the growth of the game and the depth of the game and, well, the wonder and brilliance of T20 cricket. And with 12 overs bowled, it's 95 for 1, and the big overs are picking up and peaking up.
A peak no footballer has ever scaled. The GOAT has his eyes set on number 1,000. Russian-Saudi League, where CR7 mania runs wild. Watch Cristiano Ronaldo in the Russian-Saudi League, streaming live only on Fancode.
फोन में ऊपर में स्क्रीन में छिप गया साउंड ऑफ करके ऑन करता माइक उसले माइक के साइन सुन स्पीकर क्या नीचा मेरो हाँ फिर ऑन
Sampal Kami returns. Good change of pace as Rahman looks for the scoop. Doesn't affect it both third and fine leg up in the circle. Then back on home soil, they ended up having to play the semi-final against the UAE because they'd lost to Oman in the group stage, which was a shock and a bit of a surprise. It meant that their semi-final wasn't at the TU International Cricket Ground, it was across at the Mulpani against the highest ranked side in the competition. They managed to outplay them and beat them and create those jubilant scenes. But there are a few scars, aren't there? Albeit from different eras. One with Pabudu Dasanayake and one with Monty Desai. But for Stuart Law, he knows that these qualifiers don't come easy. He's not underestimating any of the opposition, but make no mistake, Nepal are in real trouble there.
They are. They need wickets and need them very quickly. Credit goes to these two batsmen of Japan, the way they've played, the way they've complemented each other, the way they've rotated the strike, the way they hit the ball, recognized the ball and hit them out of the park.
And just peering across at the two dugouts, the very different body language between the two sides. Japan elated, looking really comfortable and confident. Whereas Nepal are looking, well, a bit concerned, a bit cautious. Their trademark buzz and fielding energy is a bit flat, understandable in the heat. But at the moment, they're staring down the barrel of, well, what could be 160, what could be 170. Every chance with 9 wickets in hand. Japan, there's no limit to their ambitions.
And they are attacking the ball. They are not just looking for singles. They want to hit boundaries. They are just swinging the bat, looking at the ball, swing the bat.
That's what impressed me so much last night in that game. Again, okay, he's missed out, but intent, positive intent. Kami's been the standout in terms of economy. A reminder, no Nepal bowler has taken a wicket yet, only the run out to full. And all that Kami's doing that the others aren't is that consistency, that accuracy.
It all depends on your line and length. What Gulshan Shah did, he bowled a shorter length. That is why he was pulled every ball for the 5 balls that he bowled in that over. The only ball was a dot ball. The last ball, he bowled it fuller.
Pumped into the sky. Goes a long, long way up. Long on, comes around and holds on to the catch. Sandeep Jura. And Kami gets really deserved reward. He's bowled exceptionally well. It might have been a little change of pace again. We'll see on the replay. Jura does well because that was a steepling catch. And finally, the Nepal fans here in such numbers have something to celebrate. The second wicket falls. It's the big one too of Rahman, who's got to go.
This time around, again, Sompal Kami bowled it a bit fuller. And I think it was a slower ball as well. Yes, it was a leg cutter. Fuller though. A very smart catch taken by Sandeep Zora. He's a very, very good fielder.
Great execution, Paresh, I agree. It wasn't an easy catch, not just because it went so high, but also it's travelled from the bright sky there.
हाइड्रेशन का फ्यूचर है एयरी, वेटलेस और क्लाउड सॉफ्ट। नया वैसलीन क्लाउड सॉफ्ट क्रीम सेरेमाइड हाइलुरॉन मॉइस्चर फिलर्स के साथ, जो आपकी स्किन को दे 10 गुना ज्यादा हाइड्रेशन अंदर से, नॉन स्टिकी और फास्ट अब्सॉर्बिंग टेक्सचर में। प्लम क्लाउड सॉफ्ट त्वचा के लिए नया वैसलीन।
सबसे पहिले त तोरा बिछौना में के खालको खाइले रो, त सुते किने थाहा छ। हक बोकर बिछौने में, खेबो कर बिछौने में। वत्ते करा चटपटी हराम छ त
This is a very good platform for Japan to score around 170 odd runs in this innings. Sompal Kami has been very good with the ball. This is better, right, attempting a block hole.
Great over. 2 singles and the wicket come from it. Yeah, real wild card this one. Listed at number 9. Some teams are good enough to give us an indication or an idea as to what batting order they will go with. It looks like they had 3 batters padded up, but they've decided to go with the man who's batted it, well, every position in the order with the exception of 9, 10 and 11, even though he's listed at number 9 in our order. The majority of the time he comes in at number 7. That's where he spent the majority of his career. He's played 42 T20 internationals, including today. Career best of 39. Strike rate only 123. So I'm not sure what it is that Japan have seen to change their order so significantly. Probably would have felt that Benjamin Ito Davis or Sabarish Ravichandran would have been in now. But maybe not quite sure. We'll have to wait to ask Kendall Fleming in the post-match. But they've gone with a big change. Gulshan Jha is going to bowl his second over. Change of ends for him. Rohit Paudel clearly seeing that something that isn't assisting Nepal's spinners as much as he would like in today's surface.
They actually see, Lenny, they haven't bowled in the right areas. Only Dipender Singh Airi was able to bowl in the right areas, stump to stump, attacking the stumps. None of the spinners, apart from Dipendra. And even Gulshan Jha, he was on a shorter side in his first over.
Yeah, Rajbanshi's solitary over went for 13, Bertel's for 16, Lamachani has bowled in 2 overs for 20. Irie, the only economical one alongside Sompal Kami, really. So Rohit Paudel is having to adjust and adapt his bowling plans. He's probably thrown plan A, plan B and plan C out the window with how well Japan have gone, and he's just now rotating through what he feels is best for the very moment. Japan's so impressive, and their captain leading from the front, 60 not out. What can Takahashi do in support? Looks like he's been sent out to have a go.
That is what he was listed as number 9 in the score sheet, but he's there at number 4.
Did bat 5 yesterday, and again that was kind of a promotion up the order late in the innings. Came in the 16th over, made 26 off 15, hit 3 sixes. So I suspect that's the rationale, but Sabarish Ravichandran made 39 off 29. Maybe the more likely option. Good change of pace. And chipped straight to Rohit Paudel, who takes a very good catch. Gulshan Jha's pumped up, giving it a big celebration. Not happy with the position that Nepal were in the game, and well, an inspired piece of captaincy, not just the catch he took, but the bowling change to go with it. And again, it's Nepal's fans that are ebullient and delighted. Clever bowling, clear slower ball, and a crucial breakthrough.
Yes, it is, and like we were talking about, he was on a shorter side in his first over. He bowled an off-cutter, fuller length. The batsman was deceived, even though he was playing on 60. Fleming has to depart. A very well compiled.
यहाँ जब पूरियां बनती हैं.
Once more. अब तले तेल की चिकनाई निकालने में लगेगा जोर.
No more. Vim Liquid निकाले तले तेल की चिकनाई बेहद तेजी से.
And we're now but he really gave it the big one. I suspect there might have been a bit of a send-off, possibly a few words, but that for me speaks volumes about the importance of that wicket and the position that Nepal were in this game, Paresh. They needed that wicket ever so badly.
Yeah, they needed that. That was clever bowling and good captaincy by Rohit Paudel to bring back Gulshan Jha into the attack with a slower ball. deceived Fleming completely, and a very smart catch by the captain Rohit Bodel. 3 down for 99 Japan.
This time gets the length right again. It will now be Sabarish Ravichandran. Initially listed at 3, down at 4 yesterday. As he goes fuller, and on-pace delivery that beats the outside edge. That's got to be the length. It's not rocket science, bowl a good length.
Yeah, that should be the length. The first over was all short balls. The last ball that he bowled in the first over, that was a dot ball. That was the length.
Great piece of captaincy though by Powell, because of all the options he had, Jha was maybe one of the more unlikely ones to turn back to. But he saw enough to think that it was the time to get his young all-rounder into the game. The 100 comes up here in the 14th over. It's going to be a difficult final 6, isn't it, for Rohit Powell to kind of plot and navigate his way through. Steered away. Should be a couple. Sampal Kami is quick, but he was quite fine, and he'll always get back for 2. 102 for 3 now, the score. And with the left-hander dismissed, 2 right-handers out there, where does Rohit Powell turn next?
It can be.
It's such a...
লিফট বন্ধ? কোন ফ্লোর? 4th ফ্লোরে ইন্টারভিউ। হাতছাড়া হয়ে যাবে। হবে না হাতছাড়া। ও স্যার চলে গেছেন। স্যার আপনি ইন্টারভিউর জন্য রেডি তো? লাইট হরলিক্স যাতে এনার্জি কম না পড়ে, জিরো অ্যাডেড সুগার আর হাই প্রোটিনে ভরপুর।
He has 2 left. It's 102 for 3. Can he do all run out chance? Not going to be affected. Long on comes in well to back up Jura. Can he do what he did 2 days ago, which was bowl a pretty poor first 2 overs, go for 19, and then come back really strongly?
That is what he is looking to do. Excellently bowled. The pace of the ball is exactly the same what I wanted to see. Very slow in the air.
Just looks more comfortable, understandably, like all leg spinners are, bowling to 2 right-handers. It's the Achilles heel, it's the nemesis for most leggies, the left-hander. Oh, Googly got him. And it's almost deja vu. Lamachani at it again. Expensive in his first 2 overs and comes back with a beauty. Not sure it was picked by Ravichandran. Cuts him in half and the top of the leg stump gets rocked back. Nepal are fighting back with a vengeance here. This is a remarkable turnaround.
It is. It was a googly ball pitching and going into the right hand and never picked up. Gave himself room. Missed it completely. Fleming and Rahman, they were able to read the googlies what Sandeep Lamachani was bowling. But Ravichandran didn't do it. He faced 5 balls, just a single for him.
আমাৰ ৰোহনে বৰ বেছিকৈ দুষ্টামি কৰে। কালি মাজনিশা সকলোকে ঘৰৰ বেল বজাই জগাই দিলে। তেন্তে এই ক্ষেত্ৰত মই ক'ব বিচাৰোঁ, দুষ্টামি হৈছিল যে ৰোহনৰ গ্ৰোথ খুব ভাল। তাৰ চতুৰ্থাই সকলোকে অগ্নিকাণ্ডৰ পৰা বচাই দিলে।
সকলো শিশুৱে তোমাৰ দৰে দুষ্টামি হ'ল।
এনেকৈ বাঢ়িবৰ বাবে হৰলিক্স টলাৰ ষ্ট্ৰংগাৰ শাৰ্পাৰ।
Somewhere in one of the... It's so nearly 2-2, which would have made it an absolute mirror image of 2 days ago. The inside edge saves Ito Davis. Great fight back from Nepal. At one point, real trouble, 97 for 1. They've turned this game on its head.
They have, and we were talking about Japan's batting. Nicely driven. I think he read the googly in that occasion. We were so glued to Japan's batting, we forgot to tell how good the wicket has played.
Yeah, I think the wicket has played well. And the pitch, we've come across one, I think, from when we were here 2 nights ago. There's good scores last night. That one is short and pulled away, but protection out there will keep it to just a single. Powdell's fielding often goes under the radar because of his even more illustrious colleagues, but he's very good in the field too. Great over from Lamachani, a wicket, and 2 runs come from it. 15 bowled, 104 for 4. Japan have a tricky situation here, Paresh, don't they? Because they had such momentum, they had such a strong position. They now need to...
This October, witness football at its finest. From Spain's biggest clashes, to Asia's rising battles, to Europe's elite women's game, all in one place. Watch live only on FanCode.
Wicket of Fleming, who was playing on 60. It should be a fuller delivery, pace off.
Oh, he's got him, and Gulshan Jah has another. Inspired bowling changes, and he's back, the big man. Barely used with the ball over the last couple of months, and the fans are banging the stands here, getting right behind their team. Takahashi, the promotion up the order doesn't quite work. Not able to get those big sixes that he affected yesterday against Kuwait. He's cleaned up for 4.
Yeah, it was a short ball and he went away from the stumps. That is why he got that inside edge into the stumps. This is brilliant bowling by Gulshan Jah, mixing his length. The second over that he bowled was fuller length. This time around he recognized the batsman was going to the back foot. That is why he bowled a shorter one. Takashaki has to depart for 4. Japan now in a spot of bowler, 104 for 5.
From Asia Cup setbacks to Sharjah's stage, Afghanistan and Bangladesh seek redemption. One rivalry reignited. One series that could change it all. Afghanistan versus Bangladesh. 3 T20Is. Watch live on FanCode.
To the right-hander at number 8. Great names in this Japanese side. 7 of the 11 today with those double barrel names. Of the 15-player squad, 11 passport holders, 9 of them born in Japan. Almost the entire squad speaks Japanese as well. It was attempts a rather audacious stroke, to say the least, from the first ball. Probably lucky he doesn't make any contact there.
Well, you can see that there are fine leg and third man in the boundary line. I don't know what he was trying to do. He was trying to hit that ball over the keeper's head.
Yeah, you're spot on. Because deep third and fine leg are back, it doesn't feel like a natural stroke. Again, just maybe a prospect of that little bit of nerves and that position that Japan now find themselves in. Great fielding, great anticipation from Dipendra Singh Airi. Nepal have twisted the knife here in an extraordinary manner. They've turned this game completely around. They were looking in huge trouble. Japan had all the momentum, and a combination of Jah, support from Lamachani and Sampal Kami have got it back right under control for Nepal. Outstanding stuff.
No, actually they have not pressed the knife, but they've turned it as well, like what Das used to say.
Another dot ball. So that was the former head coach of Nepal from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
There's been an illustrious group of names, isn't there, involved as head coach in Nepal over the years?
Yes, there was. In 1996, it was Sampath Nagar from India. And then 98 also Bhatnagar, I think. In 2000, Harun Rashid from Pakistan. 2001, Aftab Baluch from Pakistan. And since 2002, and in the Under-19 World Cup as well, Roy Dice came in.
Outstanding bowling, and Japan's frustrations are growing. You can imagine the runworm has just plateaued completely, because remember, they lost the second wicket with the score on 97 in the 13th over. Since then, they've barely been able to find a run, and Nepal are turning this game around remarkably. In terms of the coaching and support staff for Japan, Dougal Bedingfield has been there in place for 11 years now, as not just the head coach of the national team, but he also works as the community cricket manager for Cricket Japan, based out of their headquarters in Sano. Alan Kerr, the team manager, also the COO of the organisation. Duncan Harrison is here as the assistant coach. Experience for him down with the women's Renegades, Melbourne Renegades down in Australia. It's another dot, it's a wicket maiden, incredible. And Gulshan Jah deserves every bit of praise he's going to get. He is as impactful a cricketer as we're going to see in this tournament. He changed the game when Nepal were in quite a bit of trouble against Kuwait by hitting 20 off 5 balls before getting out with 3 consecutive sixes. His first over went for 9. His next 2 he's taken 2 for 5, including that wicket maiden. He is the dream all-rounder. He is the wild card, the ace up the sleeve of Stuart Law and Rohit Powdell. And the teenager, well, deserves a huge amount of praise. Outstanding from him.
Very, very talented cricketer. Mind you, he hasn't bowled. He didn't bowl in the West Indies series. He didn't bowl in the first match against Kuwait.
Or the warm-ups, I don't think. I don't think he's bowling there either. Here's Lamachani's final. Just to round out the rest of the Japan support staff, we've got Devin Van Askeren, who's the physio from South Africa, was working as the S&C coach at the Dolphins. He's experienced in professional franchise cricket, and also on this tour only, does do a bit of consultancy generally with Cricket Japan. Lachlan Stevens, the former Queensland, Western Australia and Victoria coach, so they have a really good guiding hand with them, plenty of Australian exposure. And even if they don't end up winning this game, they're going to reassess tomorrow on the rest day and say, we're into the Super Sixes. We had Nepal on the ropes at one stage of this game. They can still win it. Absolutely, 130, 140 could be defended. But they're going to have so much to take and to look forward to into their final 4 Super Six matches.
Absolutely. It's a very good team. We could see how Fleming bats, how Rahman bats.
They might be a little reliant on, from the batting perspective, on a couple of players. That might be the only thing you would say could be the weakness going forward into the Super Six. As the googlies tossed up it down the ground, Lamachani's very much hunting for wickets, as any good leg spinner always does here in his final over.
Yeah, leg spinners, they always look for wickets, hunt for wickets. That is why the great late Shane Warne was all about.
Every leg spinner was, even the terrible ones like me. Desperate for wickets, always. It's all you ever wanted. You knew you'd get hit for a few boundaries, you knew you'd bowl some bad balls, but you knew you'd have your moments too. Now, he's bowled that from about 23, 24 yards. I think he might have sensed Suzuki Makam coming. Good bowling from Lamachani.
Yes, and it was that attempted googly. He made it a Yorker length by himself, Suzuki. Now they have to get going.
Goes the googly again, and that could have gone anywhere. Comes off the top edge, will be fielded by Kami for a couple. Yeah, just to kind of further the point on Japan's probably their slight over-reliance on a few players. Rahman's very new to the team. He only made his T20I debut this year. He's one you would count upon, no doubt, but Kendall Kadawaki Fleming is the only batter with more than 1,000 T20I runs. Ravichandran not that far from him on 902. But they're the only two that have played a decent number of matches. As he comes down the track, it goes a mile into the sky. It will be a second for Lamachani. Takes on the googly. Lamachani will get 2. He's fought back brilliantly. 2 overs on for 20, becomes 4 overs, 2 for 25 as Japan slide further.
That's exactly like a replica of the first game. He was 19 of 2 overs in his first spell and came back and was on a hat-trick. Again, 20 of his 2 overs in his first spell, comes back with 2 wickets. A very good spell.
probably would question the shot choice a little bit as well, Paresh, because, well, you look at it and you say it's the last delivery of Lamachani. You've got 5 wickets in hand. Can you just take a single? Or give yourself those last 3 overs to work with. Instead, Suzuki Makoma, who really struggled out there, 1 off 9, including the 5 dots from Gulshan Jah, who's going to...
हाइड्रेशन का फ्यूचर है एयरी, वेटलेस और क्लाउड सॉफ्ट। नया वैसलीन क्लाउड सॉफ्ट क्रीम सेरेमाइड हाइलुरॉन मॉइस्चर फिलर्स के साथ, जो आपकी स्किन को दे 10 गुना ज्यादा हाइड्रेशन अंदर से, नॉन स्टिकी और फास्ट एब्जॉर्बिंग टेक्सचर में। प्लम क्लाउड सॉफ्ट त्वचा के लिए नया वैसलीन।
Jora everywhere out there. Apparently there's 77 districts in Nepal. Do I need to name them all each game?
Do you know them all?
I reckon I know 20 or 30. And I'll recognise 40 or 50, but do a quiz tonight, Paresh, me and you. Irie, run out chance. Oh, no. It was nearly 3 in 2 games. And the side-on replay is going to make for fascinating viewing. It was a run in desperation. It was to his left. He made the swift ground. Again, everything happened so quickly. Was this one out? Oh.
He's so accurate in his throws. 2 direct hits already in this tournament so far. He missed this one.
Cut away a long way behind square, and the diving stop is not implemented successfully. So Gulshan Jah's remarkable spell of bowling, he claps his hands in frustration, will end with a boundary as Rajbanshi unable to cut off the boundary in the deep, but it doesn't take away from the impact that he has had. 2 for 20 for him, and an outstanding comeback. But Japan have an important boundary with 2 overs to go, 115 for 6.
Every time puris are cooked here.
Once more. Once more.
Once more.
But to remove this fried oil grease will be a chore.
Yeah, from that straight on angle, looks like it might have been there. Not sure if we can get the side on one, might be too late now. As Sampal Kami comes back into the attack to bowl his 4th and final. He's been good today too. And he starts into the block hole. Worked away for the single.
While these bowlers were warming up, they were warming up as if they were bowling Yorkers. That is what is required now in the death overs, the penultimate over of the innings.
Yeah, big final 11 balls. Nepal have had all the momentum. They've taken it all back away from Japan. Can they just find a few boundaries to finish with a flourish? If they can, I'm not saying they'll be favourites, but you never know. The pressure cooker environment that we're playing in, a reminder for a 3rd or 4th time, this is in essence a Super 6 clash. I know it's a Group B game, the final Group B game, but whoever wins this will start the Super 6 with 2 points. That's how big and how important this match is. Both are going to be there, whatever the case. Kuwait are knocked out. But Nepal's fight back has been extraordinary. It's been exceptional. As poor as they were in phases of that first 12, 15 overs, the fight back has been remarkable.
Exceptional. When Fleming and Rahman were batting, they were milking the ball away so easily against Lamichane, against Gulshan Jha, against Purtel, against Ladit Rajbangshi.
Yeah, from 97 for 1, somehow Japan have... It hasn't really been that they've collapsed in a heap. It's been that they've just run into a side that has shifted gears and gone from playing quite averagely, bowling quite poorly, to bowling exceptionally well. There is that little bit of an over-reliance. I do feel that with this Japan lineup from a batting perspective on maybe 3 or 4 players. So someone, maybe Ben Ito Davis, can find a couple of boundaries just to take some momentum in. And that's going to help. Lamichane will have to run after that, but he won't be able to stop the second. Do you see 130 being close to being enough for Japan?
It will be not enough though, but they will have to bowl really well to restrict Nepal. Nepal, talking about Kushal Purtel, is very good form. Gulshan Jha, Asif Sheikh, he was not able to score runs in the first game. He is looking to get runs behind his belt.
Yeah, you've got 3 spinners, 3 seamers, as this one's plundered down the ground and is going to go all the way. A magnificent effort from Kushal Malla, who I think has got it cleanly with his one hand, but his momentum was always carrying it over the rope. And it is Ben Ito Davis who finds the first boundary since, I believe, all the way back in, well, apart from the 4 in the last over, all the way back in the 12th over. So Kami's figures a bit like the way in which Jazz figures are ruined a touch by their final deliveries of their spells, both going for the same amount. Kami gets 1 for 20 and Gulshan Jha 2 for 20. Nandan Yadav will bowl the final.
11 runs coming off the last over, the penultimate overs of the innings.
Great effort from Kushal Malla out there. Almost went sort of reverse hand goalkeeper style. I think he's got it cleanly, but he's just ended up carrying himself over the rope. Let's have a look. Yeah, oh, it's gone past him. Didn't kind of got half a hand on it. Sorry, it's a long way away from our commentary position. As Nandan Yadav will bowl the final from the media centre end here. We're going to think of a second. It's going to be a risky one. Paudel gets the throw in cleanly and given. It's another run out. I just wonder, would Ben Ito Davis have been better keeping the strike? He's just hit that big 6. Why did they look for the second? Nepal dealing in run outs again. And it's Rohit Powell who's taken a catch, adds a run out to his tally. The perfect throw. Good glove work from Asif Sheikh. And it was always going to be a struggle.
It's Davis that who called for the second run, and Thomas ran in. It was an excellent fielding effort by the captain, Rohit, to get around the ball, and the throw was very accurate.
And it wasn't just accurate, Paresh, but it was flat as well. It was flat and right over the top. So, on the one bounce, the perfect execution. The problem for Japan is that the new man will be on strike. It's the youngster, the 17-year-old former Japan under-16 captain. Only turned 17 on the... Looks more comfortable with the older ball.
This is good bowling by Nandan Yadav, bowling it back of the length into the pitch with seam-up delivery, not a cutter. I've seen Charlie when he was playing under 19 Asia Cup. A very good cricketer. It's very funny that they are in the East Asia Pacific but playing under 19 Asia Cup.
Yep. That will be a wide outside the off stump. Maybe the best of both worlds they're getting. Just wonder would Ito Davis have been tempted to run through there and try get on strike. If he went immediately, some of the backing up and running between the wickets has been a bit poor from Japan. As Umpire Mukul not happy with where, I think it's where Nandan Yadav is following through, so that may be a warning. He's just going straight down the pitch, Paresh.
Yeah, he has to get on his left in his follow through. I think he's going through the pitch.
Changing the field, deep mid wicket Irie will go out and long off will come up into the circle. 4 balls left. Oh, good cutter. He's got excellent death bowling skills, doesn't he? Surely Ito Davis has to risk running the bye here to get on strike.
He has to. He has 17 of 11. He's already hit a 6 against Sompal Kami. Charlie needs to get the bat on ball and just run. Give the strike to Ito Davis.
Yeah, cricket back at the Asian Games again next year. That'll be hosted in Japan, in Nagoya. It'll be a really good bonus and boost for Japanese cricket. We saw it in China last time. As it's another play and a miss, and I don't think they should run the second here, even though Ito Davis kind of offers it to the youngster. They'll end up running the bye. Asif Sheikh may be the first mistake in his copybook with the gloves today. He's been good and strong as always with his glove work, but they will get the bye, and it means Ito Davis, I think he should just be looking at 2s, 4s or 6s for these 2 balls. Could get Japan up to one. I'll tell you, they'll take 139 given the fight back from Nepal.
Yeah, they will. They were 90 odd for 1. The second wicket went down on the 90s for Japan. They were around 7.5 runs per over. Two balls remain. It's going to be Ito Davis who's going to take the strike.
Down the leg side, just that radar today from Nandan Yadav has been a bit off. The leg cutter gives another wide, gets Japan up to 130. 6 and a 4 would get them to 140.
Yeah, that was attempted leg cutter. He hasn't bowled on the right line and length throughout this innings. He's been a big mixed bag, either side of the wicket, either to a left-hander or a right-hander. Just need to do the basics. He's a very smart bowler, very good bowler.
2 balls left, 130 to score. This goes a long way up. It should be a catching opportunity. Lamachani goes back and holds on, and Yadav has his first. Nepal have, well, fought back in remarkable, extraordinary, exceptional fashion, and the fans loving every second of it. The colour and the beauty of the blue and red of Nepal. Plenty of flags, big crowd in today, Paresh, and they're making their voices heard.
I think it's a holiday today in Muscat. That is why we can see the Nepali fans coming in numbers. It was a smart catch by Sandeep Lamichhane going behind in the 30th circle. 8 wicket down for Japan, 130 on board. Last ball remaining after innings.
Ito Davis gone for 17. Did get that one.
ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ 1 ਬੋਡੀ ਲੋਸ਼ਨ ਹੁਣ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਨਵਾਂ
Who can't get any contact, and again Asif Sheikh unable to glove it cleanly. They will run through for what should be a bye. A lot of extras in that final over. There was only one off the bat, which was the run out to start with, as Japan are going to have to be content with 131 for 8. A really quite brilliant, exceptional fight back from Nepal, who were in such trouble. 97 for 1 they were, when Kendall Kadawaki Fleming and Isham Rahman were going so well, but the big wickets came. Gulshan Jah and
contribute. Talking about the bowling of Nepal, Dipendra Singh Aire, a very good economy rate for Sompal Kami, and Dipendra Nandan Yadav taking a wicket. 2 wicket apiece for Gulshan Jah and Sandeep Lamichhane.
yeah, amazing fight back, given it was 13, 14, 15 overs without a single wicket outside of that one, which is the run out that got things going. The way in which they've come back in this contest, really quite remarkable. Kendall Kadawaki Fleming played nicely, Japan's all-time leading run scorer, the skipper, the 29-year-old. He was very cautious at first, didn't get much support from his opening partner, but there was a real change, wasn't there? A shift in dynamic around the 8th, 9th over. The boundaries started to come, and Japan really started to dominate the contest.
Yeah, it was the partnership that took Japan forward in the middle overs. Kendall and Rahman, 60-odd run partnership between them. Couple of big sixes against Sandeep Lamichhane, and a neat touch. He recognized the googly very well, played it late, played it in the gap.
Yeah, and in fairness to Lamichhane, after this partnership, not the greatest over from Bertel, which is a surprise given his impressive little period. Rahman pumped that one into the sky to be held by Sundeep Jura, and as soon as that wicket fell, all of a sudden they started to come more consistently. Gulshan Jah gave it a massive celebration before telling everyone to calm down. Lamichhane came into his own with his wicket-taking prowess to the fore, but for me it was Gulshan Jah that was the star of the show.
It was, and Gulshan Jah was the star of the show in the first game against Kuwait, scoring 25 deliveries.
Yeah, I think we will have to certainly consider him in terms of the group stages as maybe the most impactful player, despite maybe not winning either the Player of the Match awards. Just the way in which he's come in and impacted things with his all-round skills has left us in the position where Nepal will be favourites at the halfway stage. Japan, well, they promised so much. One stage in 97 for 1 and looking good. That was with the best part of 8 overs left to make 160, 170, maybe even more. But the last 8 overs have belonged entirely to Nepal, with only 1 double-digit over and a remarkable fight back, including a wicket maiden from Gulshan Jah. Nepal, after about a 10-minute break, will need exactly 132 runs to win. We'll be back on air in about 5 minutes' time. So just time for a cup of tea or a hot lemon ginger honey. Go get one of those wherever you're watching from, and we'll see you in 5. Highly impressive. Rahman, who started his international career well. Japan were well set at 97 for 1, but they've only ended up with 131 after a Gulshan Jia-inspired fight back. And it could be half a chance from the very first ball, as we see instead a misfield that is going to race to the rope. It could have been a wicket easily, and a bit of fortune, because that was off a leading edge more so than anything. As we see Rio Sakurano-Thomas open the bowling. It was Bertel trying to work it probably into the leg side, leading edge, beats the cover fielder, beats mid-off and gets to the rope, as I wish a good evening or a good afternoon to Paresh Lahani.
Good afternoon, Lenny. And good afternoon and good evening to all the viewers. That's a good shout, but the umpires moved away. Yeah, Kushal Bhurtel's heart must have been in his mouth after he played that first shot. It was in the air. I think that hit the bat rather than the pad.
Yeah, 3 medium pacers, Sakurano-Thomas and Isam Rahman able to get it through a little bit quicker than the others. And then 3 spin options. They're the primary 6 bowlers for Japan. 1 left arm spinner and then 2 right arm off spinners. Don't think we'll see them go as deep into their chipped down the ground very elegantly. It's only a punch really from Bertel, but he looks like he's returning to some of his very best form. Remember his flying start to international cricket, 450s in his first 5 innings. He hits a second boundary and it's very, very elegant. Paresh, what a shot that is.
That was just a check drive by Bhurtel, straight down the ground, over the infield, over long on rather. Kushal Bhurtel has runs under his belt. At the first game he played against Kuwait, he scored 60-odd runs. Now already 2 boundaries in this over, the first over of the innings.
Yeah, 66 he made out off the penultimate delivery of the innings, nearly carried his bat. He called it in the post-match presentation the best innings of his career. That's how important that was against Kuwait. Got Nepal off to a winning start. Both of these sides, a reminder, have qualified through to the Super 6, and now it's really just a case of who's going to take the first points in the Super 6. Between them is again an aggressive stroke attempted. The importance of Bertel at the top of the order, given that he had a really tricky patch, didn't he, in 2024, parts of 2023, dropped down the order to 6 and 7. But Stuart Law's backing his man at the top in a big way.
He is a natural strike maker. That is why he opens the batting. He uses the power play.
Goes again and takes that aerial route. It's going to fly just out of the reach of the mid-off fielder. A valiant, incredible effort actually. Great credit to Shoma Sagata Slater, who does so well to hang right on the edge of the 30-yard circle. Made 15, 20 yards back, and for all of the brilliance of Nepal's fielding, that would have been probably the catch of the tournament.
Kushal Bhurtel once again stepping down the track, almost getting to it. That's a very good effort by. Down on the leg side, flicked away. Just a single though. A very good over comes to an end. Nepal 11 for no loss.
If you're wondering just how much Kushal Bhurtel struggled last.
अम्मा बार-बार नींद से जाग रहा है, सर्दी खांसी अभी भी है।
रात भर राहत के लिए विक्स लगाओ। इसमें है कुदरती तत्व जैसे कपूर और नीलगिरी तेल।
विक्स लगाना है जरूरी, सर्दी खांसी जाएगी, रात भर राहत आएगी। विक्स भी पूरा।
You would expect, including 450s altogether. So, yeah, really good.
Every time puris are cooked here.
Once more. Once more.
Once more.
But to remove this fried oil grease will be a chore.
No more. Vim Liquid removes fried oil grease instantly.
Technical flaw or something that the other team's analysts will pick up upon, and then they will target that. Here's the youngster, Hara Hinze. His left arm spin, immediately given the task of opening the bowling. After 11 come from the first, Bertel gets a single to get Asif Sheikh onto strike for the first time.
You're talking about Kushal Purtel's form. Yeah, it happens to a player when you go through a black patch, a dark patch. He worked very hard on it. He's been batting in numerous places like number 3, number 7, number 5, and now opening the batting again.
A reminder that we'll see Charlie Harhinze in that Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup that's only, 4 months away or something around that in January. They became the 14th nation to qualify with a big victory back in April over Fiji. And Harhinze was very much to the fore. Bertel won't take on the single. He's actually named the player of the tournament in that East Asia Pacific Regional Qualifier with 92 runs and 12 wickets. Lots of talented youngsters. Cricket Japan doing a lot of good things. This is cut away, finds the gap and finds the boundary. It felt like an even smaller gap because 2 fielders there at point, and indeed the umpire in the pink shirt, a similar colour because of where the sun is. Great stroke for 4.
The ball came in after pitching. Purtel just gave himself room and cut that into the gap. The placement was perfect.
Chip down the ground, not out of the middle of the bat, but every run is being cheered to the rafters by the fans that are predominantly supporting Nepal. I've seen 2 in Japan pink tops with the Japan flag. Don't think there's many more.
I don't think that's pink.
You don't? They're playing in pink?
No, they are playing in pink, but the flag colour is red.
Oh, the flag colour is red, absolutely. But the 2 fans are in Japan jerseys up there, yeah, absolutely. End of the second, Nepal 18 for none. Another good over. Harhinze's goes for 7. For Nepal, all the focus on nailing 2 points here, or as the chase progresses, will they start to think about net run rate as well, bearing in mind that this result will count in the Super 6?
India ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ 1 ਬੋਡੀ ਲੋਸ਼ਨ ਹੁਣ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਨਵਾਂ ਵੈਸਲੀਨ ਡੀਪ ਮੋਇਸਚਰ ਸੈਰਾਮਾਈਡ ਹਾਈਲੂਰੋਨ ਮੋਇਸਚਰ ਫਿਲਰਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਦੇਵੇ 10 ਗੁਣਾ ਵੱਧ ਮੋਇਸਚਰ ਇੱਕ ਲਾਈਟ ਫਾਸਟ ਐਬਜ਼ੌਰਬਿੰਗ ਫਾਰਮੂਲੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਦਾ ਅਲਟੀਮੇਟ ਪ੍ਰੂਫ plump cushion soft bounce ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵਾਂ ਵੈਸਲੀਨ ਡੀਪ ਮੋਇਸਚਰ ਲੋਸ਼ਨ.
It's to start to drag things back. Shoma Sugata Slater, one of the other right arm seamers, is called in. Driven but too firmly to take the single as mid-off is in play. Probably got about maybe an hour of daylight left. I do think the floodlights will kick in for some aspect of this second innings, and then a reminder we do have action tonight. Should be a good clash, that one. PNG versus Oman. Papua New Guinea in must-win territory. Oman have it all to do. That's not a good delivery. The tournament's been a fascinating one already. I know we're only in the 3rd day, Paresh. First day, everything went to plan with regards to rankings. The 3, I suppose the 3 highest ranked sides, the 3 tournament favourites, Nepal, UAE and Oman, all got it done, but had a few wobbles. Yesterday was the opposite.
Exactly. The first day was dramatic, to be honest, and yesterday was swing and a miss by Purtel. It was a mixed bag on the first day, but yesterday Kuwait getting knocked out of the tournament, a high-ranked team beaten by a lower-ranked team, Japan, and even Samoa beating PNG. So everything happened yesterday.
Use of the feet down the track. Now they're interested in an LBW appeal, but he's come so far down. I think it's very difficult to give that. Good hard length hit though by Slater. Excellent bowling.
Yes, he's trying to hit the deck. His length is perfect. He's bowling those back of the length, not bowling fuller deliveries where Purtel can go over the top with a straight bat. He's mixing his length, varying his length.
Good bowling, and I think in fairness to Japan, clearly the indications, the instructions from the coaches will have been, not just from Bedingfield, the head coach, but Harrison and Stevens, the assistants, that we need to learn from what Sampal Kami and Gulshan Jah did so well in that first innings.
Yeah, and apart from that one wide, all the balls are dot balls in this over.
It feels like a pitch that rewards good bowling, good basics. Just not the right line this time, and a misfield is going to cost a boundary. I think this will race to the rope. Oh, not quite. Very nearly costs 4. Just got something on it to at least save the 4 and turn it into 2.
When you have the fine leg fielder inside the circle, that is not the line you would like to bowl. You like to bowl outside off stump, outside off stump. You have a wide third man and a short, very fine third man as well. Backward point, extra cover, and mid-off on the offside.
Straight to the man at cover point. So it'll be a dot ball to close out a good over. A good first over from Sagaya Slater. 3 have been bowled, 21 for none.
ड्राई स्किन ये मौसम नहीं, ये मॉइस्चर लॉस है आपकी स्किन से। स्किन बैरियर डैमेज होने पर मॉइस्चर खोने लगता है। लैक्मे पीच मिल्क मॉइस्चराइजर 2% प्रो सेरामाइड्स जो स्किन बैरियर को रिपेयर करे और पेप्टाइड्स मॉइस्चर को लॉक करे। दे स्मूथ प्लम्प स्किन बैरियर रिपेयर विद लैक्मे पीच मिल्क मॉइस्चराइजर।
Home for Kuwait. They too will be heading back across the Gulf. Papua New Guinea will be looking to avoid that fate, and there's a few different permutations. If Oman went down to a very heavy defeat, they could still get knocked out. As Asif Sheikh goes down the ground, Long On will come around and keep it to a couple. And Samoa aren't through yet, but have put themselves into a great position. If Oman beat Papua New Guinea, we'll see Samoa in the Super 6.
Yeah, and there'll be 2 East Asia Pacific teams. They'll go through to the Super 6s.
Yeah, there is a world in which there could be all 3. Oh, yes. Stunning. One of the shots of the day, and it's exactly where Kendall Fleming hit his 2. That was over long on for the left-hander. This one's over long off from Asif Sheikh. Made it look easy, very elegant and pleasing on the eye as he just caresses this for 6.
Fleming hit 2 sixes against Sandeep Lamichhane this time around. It was right on the slot, and it went over the long on mid-off fielder, over the fence for a 6.
It was just glorious, wasn't it? No need for any incandescent rage or anything like that. Just a simple, elegant bat swing from a very talented cricketer. Paresh, did this remind you of you in your prime?
Yeah, I used to play straight, but not over the top, all along the ground.
Your one would have been along the ground, not in the air. Oh, it's a beautiful shot, isn't it? I think in fairness, Kendall Fleming's was bigger off Lamichhane, particularly the first one, but that one was, because it's over long off, and just the extension of the arms with the bat swing was even more pleasing on the eye. And Hara Hinze, who's such a prodigious and a prolific young talent, is just being targeted a little bit here in the power play. It's a tall task for a 17-year-old to bowl to these 2. 24-yard delivery comes out, so Sheikh goes deep in the crease. Bumped into the Sheikh brothers last night. I was out in Muttra, which is a beautiful little sort of fishing port and bay there. And yeah, the Sheikh brothers alongside Mohammed Adil Alam were just out and enjoying a bit of tea. Nice to see them. They were very, very happy actually with the Japan result. They thought they deserved it. They said they'd watched the game. Big appeal. And Hara Hinze was interested. What's this one missing, Paresh?
Yeah, it looked very close in the first incident, but you have to see the replay. Probably slightly going down.
Did he get it to turn enough is the question. Or was it just angling on with the arms? Certainly an appeal of note, an appeal of interest. As again he uses his feet. Going to create half a chance. Oh, spectacular effort. But it's another one that, well, it's hard to call it a chance or harsh to call it a chance. And the flying long off fielder or mid off fielder who's run around, I don't think gets anything on it in the end, and Bertel lives to fight another day.
Coming down the track, not into the pitch of the ball, hit it.
Back live with you now. We'll come back to that replay as Bertel can't beat the infield, as it will round out the latest over. It was an awfully difficult chance, Paresh, wasn't it? Again, made good ground. Don't think he got a hand on it in the end. Might have been Rahman out there, I think, at mid-off. Good effort, but I suppose for Japan to develop...
This October, witness football at its finest. From Spain's biggest clashes, to Asia's rising battles, to Europe's elite women's game, all in one place. Watch live, only on FanCode.
Pleased with the start that the two openers have given them. With their elegant stroke. He really is probably, of all of Nepal's batters, the most technically correct Asif Sheikh. Is that a fair analogy from someone who batted at the top like you, Paresh?
Yes, he is. He's one of the most elegant, stylish, classical players who can score runs in a T20 international above the striker of 130.
He's actually someone... I know Nepal don't play a huge amount of multi-day cricket. They did inaugurate the J Trophy there last year, I think it was. Or it might have been this year. My years are drifting into each other. To play some 2-day and then a 3-day final in that competition domestically. But he's someone you would love to see get an opportunity one day at Test cricket, Asif Sheikh. He seems to have all the assets from a technical perspective.
Yes, he has that aspect. Everything, the way he comes on to the front foot, the way he goes back to the back foot.
That's the one shot that gets him in a bit of trouble, just as we're waxing lyrical about how elegant he is. He probably doesn't need to play that. If he plays a back foot punch there, he would have executed it. Big swing and a miss.
This kind of a shot that he played against Kuwait brought the downfall. Was trapped LBW, trying to play across the line. He doesn't have to do that. Just back your basics. Just do your basics right. Clipped off his hips just for a single.
Yeah, it's funny, for most associate sides, particularly the 8 premier associate sides that are in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2, they're basically splitting their focus pretty much 50-50, aren't they, on ODI cricket and T20I cricket. And as a consequence, you don't really want to be out of one of the formats. Short and wide, misses out, bit of bounce from Sagaya Slater. So this, if Nepal played all 3 formats, if there's a day, one day where they play Test cricket, this might be the weakest of Asif Sheikh's 3 formats, but he's still very effective in T20 cricket, particularly when he has Bertel kind of going a bit more hammer and tongs at it alongside him.
That is what they complement each other for. Bertel comes in, attacks the ball. He has that aggression in the T20 format.
Well, this goes straight up. It should be the first wicket. Fine leg comes around and holds on, and Japan celebrate. Sagaya Slater's really deserved that. And look at this, all 11 Japanese fielders coming in, sprinting in together. They're pumped up, loving every second. The men in pink do have one of Nepal's first 2 openers as Bertel looked for the hook shot. I think got surprised by that bit of extra bounce and a half a yard of pace on offer 2 from Slater. And the opening stand is broken.
Yeah, it was a short ball, tried to pull. The ball hurried onto him, caught the top edge, and a very smart, neat catch by the fielder at short pine, tumbling to his back. That was the captain, Kendall Fleming.
Will have been nervous underneath it, knew the importance of it. 2 very, very difficult chances, both off Bertel going down. So he'll have to walk back for 21, made it exactly a run a ball. It will bring the captain to the crease row at Powdle. Good time to take a wicket just before that crucial 6th over that batting sides so often attack.
This summer want instant glow? Super light feel? Wait no more. नया वैसलीन ग्लूटाहायर इसके नया सिनेमाइड
Particularly in the grade structures in Melbourne and in Sydney and in Perth and in Brisbane. Adelaide too. But you're playing first grade cricket, you're at a good standard. So he's come in and hit that hard length, those bouncy pitches out in Western Australia, and he's got the good reward. As we'll see a change in bowling. The third of the three seamers comes into the attack. It was a big swing and a miss from Asif Sheikh, just losing his shape. Out and out all-rounder, isn't he, Rahman? And another one who's playing his club cricket down in Australia.
This was a very good length bowled by Rahman. The ball shaping away from Asif Sheikh. He tried to hit that over the bowler's head, but was completely beaten by the swing of the ball. Now, if Japan can get a couple of wickets, quick wickets, Nepal will come under pressure.
Worked around the corner, get home comfortably for the single, pedal very quick. Yeah, he was playing for the ACT Comets side. I think they're known as the Comets still, or it certainly used to be the Australian Capital Territory side in that North End T20 that not just Nepal went down to play in, but also Pakistan A, the Shaheens, Bangladesh A. So aside from America playing in that too, really good competition. And then Melbourne Renegades Academy, there's an Adelaide Strikers side there, Northern Territory Strike 2. And he was generally in the wickets and in the runs in that. I think that's something Nepal will be invited back to. And even though they lost some games down there, it showed that, I suppose, good exposure to different conditions will be good for the team going forward.
Yeah, that was a very good experience for Nepal to go there for the top end T20 tournament, playing against Australian team, playing against the Shaheens, playing against Bangladesh as well, the A teams. A good exposure for the kid, for the boys.
Very good standard of cricket from what I saw as well. Played across a multiple number of venues up in the top end. As Pedal will get off the strike. That wicket will probably quell any immediate hunts for net run rate boosts, as Nepal will just get the focus on to winning this game now again.
That should be their motto, just to win the game first. That comes in the primary objective. The secondary objective must have been the net run rate. But if you don't go for the win, if you don't win, the net run rate will not count.
Yeah, you're spot on. Net run rate's almost kind of a bonus after. Sheikh goes down the ground, heaves it into the leg side, goes a long way, goes all the way. Two fielders were interested in it for its entire airspan out towards the leg side boundary. How's he got this for 6?
We were talking about the elegance of Asif Sheikh. He comes down the track. It was a slow ball, an off cutter. He just goes with the shot, pulls it down to mid wicket for a 6.
Yeah, he almost had to check his stroke because he was probably done a little bit by a clever piece of bowling. Rahman saw Sheikh coming, changed his pace, but well, it's a modern game. You almost get the mini win as the bowler. You still go for 6. And Sheikh looks to finish the power play strongly, but can't get it where he wants it, which was over extra cover. Nepal will still be the happier of the two sides at the end of the power play in the second innings. They've accumulated 45 for 1.
Yes, let's look at the power play highlights. Kushal Bhuttel started off very wary.
যদি মন চায় কাছে আসতে তবে দ্বিধা করো না সারা কি গো ঠাকুরপো ব্রাশ না করেই বেরোচ্ছ
ব্রাশই তো করছি এখন
সাধারণ টুথপেস্ট দিয়ে ক্লোজ আপ না করলে ভেবে নাও ব্রাশ করোই নি
This one's an amazing shot by Asif Sheikh coming down the track, helping it over mid-wicket for a 6. After the power play, Nepal 45 for 1.
You'll get in trouble. Very nearly smashes into that one. Nepal's fans loving every second.
This was another long hop, equally well dealt by Asif Sheikh. This was much bigger than the last one. Almost hitting the car there. Back-to-back 6s for Asif Sheikh.
He might be lucky that Sheikh didn't hit it another 2 or 3 meters. I think that was smashing into the car then. He does have 48 wickets to his name, with a little bit of all sorts. We'll see him bowl some leg breaks, some off breaks, but two really poor deliveries to start with. And Sheikh just said, well, thank you for the presents. Happy to heave them away. And again, the ball needs further inspection because it clattered off the surroundings. Better, much better from Ravichandran. Finally finds his length. The problem is only 130 on the board. You can't even afford a couple of bad balls.
And that was a bit slower through the air as well. Another good delivery by him. 2 long hops and then 2 dot balls. I think he's getting the groove of the wicket now, getting the ball to release it well.
Yeah, they are leg breaks, but they're kind of straight breaks, and that one's cut away for 4 more. Flat through the air. Asif Sheikh really taking a liking to Ravichandran, who's being dispatched around Al Amarat.
This was not a bad ball. The shot was extremely good. He gave himself room and played it into the bat almost from the keeper's gloves. A very good shot. Played it very late to get the gap between short third and backward point.
Sheikh is just happy to keep the strike. He's completely unflusteredly accumulated 17 runs from that over with the utmost of ease. 7 have been bowled. Nepal in cruise control, approaching the halfway marker of this chase. They're 62 for 1. Wacky Fleming as to when his sights might just turn to a bit of damage limitation. Does the dream of pulling off that shock upset, which would be 2 massive upsets in 2 days for Japan's cricketers, does that kind of go into the rearview mirror, and does he start to think, hold on, how can I bowl as economically as possible to drag out this second innings to make sure we don't take such a thumping that if we get 3 wins, our net run rate's going to be in a terrible position. So Guy Slater's brought back in. Well, that's not going to help. Big leg side wide. Change of ends for him, strangely. Bowled so well from the media centre end. Have had a couple of messages asking to explain the format again, Paresh. I think if you forget about the group stages, because by the end of tonight we'll know the 6 teams in the Super 6, and what we can then do is publish a points table with each side having played 1 match, and that's the result that you will hold on to with the side that you qualified with. So the winner of this match will have 2 points at the end of tonight. UAE already have 2 points from Group A, and then it could be Oman, it could be Samoa, or it could be Papua New Guinea, depending upon the permutations in Group C. And then from there, all that happens is you play all the other 4 sides you haven't played yet, and it's the top 3 that go to the World Cup. There's no semi-final, there's no final, it's that simple.
Yes, it is. From Group A, UAE already taken 2 points to the Super Sixes. Whoever wins today will take 2 points to the Super Sixes. That was hit over his head. A good catch at third man. Asif Sheikh, after playing those good innings, has come to an end. 38 that he scored of 20 balls. He tried an uppercut, but couldn't get so.
And what a great change of bowling. Great credit to Kendall Kadawaki Fleming. He's gone to his gun fast bowler. Kept pounding back of a length, now even shorter. And Sheikh couldn't resist taking it on. And with deep third out, it was a very risky stroke. This is a good catch. Down at wide, deep third. And a bit of a celebration too. Love to see that. Give some back to the Nepal fans. Maybe he was getting a bit down there, Ibrahim Takahashi. And he says, yes, that's number 2. And the Nepal fans are going to rue that. Sheikh is gone for 38. Might not be enough to turn this.
Selfie sirf face di? Nah. Jadoo
Taken by Ibrahim. Second wicket down for Nepal. It's going to be Sundeep Zora at number 4.
Interesting call this. He's had a lot of flexibility in his order, or in his place in the order. Kushal Mala's often in at 4, but with the seamers on, maybe it's a good call to go to Jura, who drives just shy of backward point. So Guy Slater's being the pick of the bowlers by quite a distance here.
And Sundeep Zora has been sent, I think, because of he plays fast bowling very well. Just to keep Kushal Mal behind when probably the leg spinner or the left arm spinner comes.
Get off the mark with a quickly run single that might have been interesting with a direct hit, and Powdell is that quick that they'll get back for an overthrow. Good awareness from Nepal's captain calling Jura through. Can't blame the fielder here, he had to throw it, and might have been interesting if he had been able to affect that direct hit at the non-striker's end.
Quick run attempted there, the fielder missing the ball. Zora just stuttered there in the middle. That is why he had to sprint to the other end.
Would have been close, I reckon. May well have been out, in fact. With a short ball, that will probably be too short and given as a wide, rightly so. Umpires working well together as a pair. Shiju Sam and the main man Mukul from Bangladesh. He's actually standing at point, which you might say, well, why is he doing that? But that sun is getting so low out towards the mountains to our right as we look to your left of your screen. Look at the length of the shadows that it's casting. Here we go, back live. Just wanted another look at that run-out replay, but I think it would have been too close to call. Jura gets the single. These two will just look to accumulate and rebuild here. Not going to take too many risks, you'd imagine, Paresh?
Yeah, they both are relatively new at the crease. Asif Sheikh, very well played. 38 comes to an end. He was the one who gave momentum to the innings after Kushal Purtel got out. Slater has been very good, very aggressive bowling those short balls, trying to attempt bouncers, bumpers.
But he's also just hit that good hard length really well. His paddle's so quick. Oh, brilliant running. Really quite remarkable how they've turned a single into two there. It probably should have been a dot ball, but you put the pressure back onto the fielders. You force them to try and take the single. And yeah, incredible. Really, really good awareness and game awareness from both Rohit Paudel and Sandeep Jura. Probably frustrating for Sagaya Slater despite picking up that second wicket for him. And with 8 bowled, it's 69 for 2. Heading into the golden era, the magic era of the last era of daylight here. Change in bowling, Hara Hinze comes on now from the media centre end. Long off and deep cover in place, and then on the leg side, deep backward square is a long way behind square, covering that sweep shot. Deep mid wicket and long on out. 4 in the circle, 5 outs. Good brave bowling, slower through the air. Looks a talented young cricketer. I know he didn't see much of him with the bat there in that first innings. Difficult position to come in, someone so young, but good left arm bowler, good fielder, captain of the 19s. What a bright future he has.
Yes, he has a very bright future. I've seen him in the Under-19 Asia Cup. Very good fielding at extra cover. He's just looping the ball into the air, just telling the batsman to come and hit me.
And it's brave for someone who's 17 to continue to toss it up and getting good reward. 3 dots from 4 balls. Been really impressed with Japan. First time I've ever commentated on them live myself. Enjoyed the game yesterday. As this one comes off maybe even the helmet. I think we might have a concussion check here. Yeah, they're going to go to the physio. Maybe bat involved as well. You can understand why they've appealed, but we'll have a slight break in play here as out comes Nepal's physio, Lakendra Kumar, to run through the mandatory concussion check. That will always take place no matter how strong or weak the blow is towards the helmet region. It's been a good innovation. You'll see here clearly up into the grill and helmet. I'm sure Rohit Paudel is fine. It was only coming down at 45 miles an hour. But
yes, I wonder, Lenny, what does the physio come and talk to you about after you got struck in the helmet? I've always wondered about that. Is he going to ask you some questions? What is your name, or where do you live? Just a shot, just a break in play. Nepal 70 for 2 in the 9th over.
yeah, maybe the surprise that we haven't seen the 3rd spinning option yet. Only the 5 bowlers used. Thought Abdul Samad might have had a turn. Now maybe he'll come in next. Only have the one over left of Shamya Sagaya Slater. How the captain of Japan uses that over will be interesting. Does he go all in now and give him another one just before the drinks break? Or will he hold him back? Paudel obviously passes the concussion test and is fit to continue. Just 2 runs though from that 9th over. It's 71 for 2.
Epic. হাইড্রেশনের ফিউচার হলো এয়ারি, ওয়েটলেস আর ক্লাউড সফট।
Thomas doesn't quite at the same pace, just as that little angle in. Exceptional running between the wickets again. They'll get home for the 2 comfortably. Might even think of a third. And not much risk taken by Nepal's batters here, and just reaccumulating nicely.
This is very good batting by the captain. Just played it with soft hands. The ball never went out from the 30-yard circle, and they took 2 runs. How fast they are in between the wickets.
Yeah, it's really difficult for deep mid-wicket and deep square leg, because you can maybe get 3 or 4 yards in, but not much more than that, because if the short ball is pulled at you, particularly with the way that sun is, you don't want to be kind of caught right in the deep, and it's forced to change in field, just that one shot. Deep third goes back, but deep backward point comes in, and up comes deep mid-wicket, so protection on the leg side. Paudel misses out here. For Japan, we spoke about that factor of 2 games in 2 days. So you get a look at the change in field. That mid-wicket fielder there, just right on the edge of the square, has come in to plug that gap. They've probably shown more than enough to think that they can win games in the Super 6.
Yes, they have, especially the batters, Fleming, the captain. And Rahman, the partnership that they got against Nepal today was brilliant.
They've been the 2 standouts, haven't they, with the bat. But their bowling attack is very effective. It looks like they're an incredibly tight-knit group. From speaking to Alan Carr, he's just talking about the importance of, them doing things in a Japanese manner, speaking Japanese in and around the group. We saw them take a bow to their fans that came last night and all line up. I thought that was lovely. Such brilliant stories in Japanese sport. The primary sports there, I hope, feel free to drop a message in and correct me if not. The primary sports there tend to be the likes of baseball, which is hugely popular. Cricket on the rise, rugby obviously hugely on the rise. That famous win over South Africa 10 years ago now, back in 2015. And I think they're a great story. They're a story we need in cricket. We've spoken about the importance of Brazil's women's program, what USA have done for the men's side coming through and expanding the game there. We want it to be a global game. We want not just a 20-team World Cup. There's already been some inclinations or whispers in and around the ICC that they'd like to get that to 24 teams in years to come. As Jora goes down towards long off and straight at him. And Japan are pumped up again. They find a third. It's a good catch. Nicely taken by Benjaminito Davis. And Japan, you have to say, are deserving all of these breakthroughs. Nepal still hold the aces, but at the halfway stage, Japan fighting hard. And they've got 3 wickets to their name.
Yes, they have. And let's look at the shot again. The fielder was in the boundary line. A neat catch taken by the fielder there. With that, Zora has to depart for 5. And the umpires have called for the drinks break. We'll take a break here in the comment box. We'll be back soon.
ਸੈਲਫੀ ਸਿਰਫ ਫੇਸ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਫੇਸ ਵਰਗਾ ਗਲੋ ਬੋਡੀ ਤੇ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ
Nepal was pushed to the back foot. Credit goes to Sompal Kami, Gulshan Shah, and the latter part of the innings, Sandeep Lamichhane, who took 2 wickets.
For me, it was Gulshan Shah that made the difference, though, wasn't it? The impact he had, particularly given his first over went for 9 runs, to come back. Those remaining 3 that he bowled on the bounce probably have changed the course of this contest.
Yes, it sure did. He got rid of the dangerous man, the captain of Japan, Fleming. Nepal, having ranked higher than Japan, they were pushed to back foot.
Yeah, one of the challenges then in the defence of this chase for Japan, their most prolific wicket taker, Ravichandran, just bowled a terrible first over, and any pressure that was built up with the dismissal of Bertel was just completely taken out of the game, because he bowled 2 long hops to start with. Both of those were dispatched for 6. There was another boundary too from Asif Sheikh in the over, and that went for 17, and Kendall Fleming hasn't wanted to turn back to him since. Edged away, a little bit of fortune for Rohit Powdle, but he will get 4. Nice delivery. Deep third is very wide, and the Nepal fans are flying their flags and cheering on merrily yet again.
That had a bit of shape on it, getting that outside edge, running very fine towards the third man region. And like you said, Lenny, the third man fielder was a bit wide. That is why he couldn't stop it. Just 43 more required of 50 deliveries. Rohit Powdle on 17. He would like to stay unbeaten.
How much would you read into those prior T20 World Cup experiences in terms of the qualifiers that Nepal have had? Obviously heartbreak here against the UAE back in what was that, 2021, wasn't it, for the T20 World Cup 2022?
Yeah, it has been. They've played 2 T20 World Cups, so one in 2014 and one in 2024.
Oh, chip back at the bowler, who thinks he's held on, and Kushal Mala's happy to walk. An exceptional catch. Suzuki McComb is brought into the attack, and the mustachioed all-rounder has done so well to dive forward, take it probably only inches off the turf. Nobody would have had a better view than Kushal Mala, and he's happy just to walk off immediately. What a catch this is.
Incredible. Diving in front in your follow-through, being a medium pacer, that's an incredible catch.
Second low score for Mala in 2 games. And again, good awareness of the matchups from Japan's end, getting the fast bowler on rather than the spinner to Mala. He's got to go for 4. Nepal just having a few wobbles in this chase. They've lost their 4th. It's 90 for 4.
The league where the GOAT plays.
pathway events because they always have twists and turns. Nepal will have been thinking they should have cruised this chase of 130, but 2 wickets in 3 balls has the game turned on its head. And it's those little strike breaks, the little skidding on leg breaks from Ravichandran that have given him a 49th T20 international wicket. Might have been the googly, it was, out of the back of the hand. Powdell's not picked it, and for me, more than a fair decision. Gonna go on and hit middle and leg stump. Ravichandran's pumped up. So too are Japan.
Yes, Rohit Patel has to depart. Very good delivery, very good captaincy. He has to depart for 18 of just 19 deliveries. Nepal in some sort of wobble, like you said, Lenny. 90 for 5.
যদি মন চায় কাছে আসতে
Gulshan Jah good enough to get off the mark. He's a confident young cricketer, and he's already been through a lot in such a short career, Paresh.
Gulshan Jah, just 19 years of age. The way he batted in the first game against Kuwait, 20 of 5, that got the momentum into the innings break for Nepal. That is why the bowlers came out and bowled very well to take wickets, to get a victory out of it.
Nepal's fans all of a sudden becalmed in a position where they're starting to feel pressure, as are the team. It's a beautiful hue to the ground now. You might have noticed a difference in the colour as you look on at home. The floodlights have just come on for the first time. And oh, this looks very close. Pleading with Muckle. And the umpire has a long think and says, no, I'm not sure necessarily what this is missing unless Irie has got a bit of bat on it. Look like it's just skidding on again. Oh, is it going down or is that hitting leg stump?
Excellent bowling by Ravichandran. He's taken a wicket already off the captain of Nepal.
I think it was probably another googly, wasn't it? He just sort of rolls it out a little bit Rashid Khan-esque, not the full back of the hand googly, just coming out the side. What an over, what an impact. We've got a changed game all of a sudden in the course of 7 deliveries. Bit of a strut and a swagger from Ravichandran too. He felt he could have had that decision go his way. Very close call. It's gone the way of Dipender Singh Irie as the floodlights take full effect and the most beautiful sunset is incoming. They're always good here in Muscat, Paresh.
Ow.
Yes, sir. It's been
Ow.
the 4th day
Yeah, I think so much of the growth and the development over the last decade has been due to one decision. Back in 2018, some statisticians, some anarachs didn't like it, but back in 2018, the ICC granted T20I status to every single one of its, at that stage, 104 members, now 108 members, all are entitled to play T20Is. Ja hooks this away, and probably the biggest cheer of the day. He's a real fan favourite, this man. He stuck it onto the road. The angle helped him with that hook shot. It's an almighty maximum.
That is more than 100 meters. A good bumper, again, well picked up by Gulsen Shah. Down to deep square leg, behind square, into the road.
Yeah, remarkable shot. And there's a bit of niggle kicking in. I don't think Ravichandran, who you can see heavily involved in it there, was happy with that LBW decision from umpire Muckle in the previous over. But I'm not sure why this ball has sparked the action and the drama. Outstanding hook shot, a nice swivel hook, bit of Caribbean flair there from Gulsen Shah, soars many a mile. And then there was a coming together of a number of Japanese fielders who came in to, well, have a word or two with both Ja and Irie, who didn't seem to engage. So the umpires rightly saying to Japan, get back to your positions. Won't get the single this time. This game has got a bit of spice of it in it all of a sudden.
And the Nepali fans, they're loving it. They're just chanting around. We are loving it, the spice.
Always good to have a bit of spice in any contest, as long as it doesn't go past the line. And in fairness, both staying around the wicket. Final ball of Slater's spell. He's driven, but he's bowled really well, Sagaya Slater. 2 for 22, he will take. Maybe even deserved a third wicket in there. But the 100 comes up as his spell ends, much to the cheers of the Nepal fans, who are loving every second of it. It's 100 for 5 they need. Just 32 more to win, as we look at the Manhattan here.
Yes. Wickets falling for Nepal.
হাইড্রেশনের ফিউচার হলো এরি, ওয়েটলেস আর ক্লাউড সফট। নতুন ভ্যাসলিন ক্লাউড সফট ক্রিম, যাতে আছে সেরামাইড হাইলুরন ময়েশ্চার ফিলার্স। এটি আপনার ত্বকে যোগায় 10 গুণ বেশি হাইড্রেশন ভেতর থেকে, নন স্টিকি ও ফাস্ট অ্যাবজর্বিং টেক্সচারে। প্লাম ক্লাউড সফট ত্বকের জন্য নতুন ভ্যাসলিন।
Andron's first went for 16, his second had the wicket. And all of a sudden he's found his rhythm, found his loop, and they're interesting little leg breaks, aren't they? It's kind of a bit of everything in there, ball quite flat through the air. He's a good googly. It's not an extravagant drop of the front shoulder and full show of the backhand googly. It's sort of a little one that just rolls out the side of the hand, and it makes it difficult to pick. Already accounted for Powdell, could have accounted for Dipender Singh Irie too.
Yeah, after the first over, that he was a bit tentative, a bit nervous to bowl to Asif Sheikh. He's found his rhythm. This was a full toss, easily driven away by Gulsen Shah.
Yeah, I would suspect that this is the critical over. If Ravichandran can get one, or in a dream world 2 more, Japan might start to believe. But Irie picks the googly this time. The key thing is just not to lose a wicket here for Nepal. Required run rate isn't posing pressure. It's the fact they've lost those 5 wickets.
Yes. The current rate is over 7 runs per over. The required is under 6. It's very controllable. The only thing that Nepal is worried about is those 5 wickets.
Driven, square driven. Ja wants the second, Irie sends him back. I think that was a really good call, because obviously Irie would have got there at the non-striker's end, but he's looked after his partner there, and that's good communication to make sure it's just a single.
Irie is a very smart campaigner. He knows what is going wrong in the center. He identifies the fielders. Jiven again, straight down the ground for a single.
Nepal doing enough in this over just to quell the threat of that Japan fight back. I do think back to that first innings though, and you just wonder if Japan had got the 160 they should have. How different may this game have been. 5 singles will come from the 15th, and Nepal just plotting a course home here. They're 105 for 5.
The league where the GOAT plays. 18 teams, 34 game weeks. Watch the Russian-Saudi League.
लहान पाहिजे पक्षी ध्यान
देखाएको छतमा 1 सेकेन्ड छाड देखाएको छु
Helped around the corner. It is Dipender Singh Airi again, just innovating. He'll get a couple. That first ball was a dot, yeah, not a single. Got that corrected, thanks to the team for that. Ravichandran shown why he does take wickets at all the levels he's played at.
No wonder he's the highest wicket taker for Japan in the T20Is. Again, flattered through the air, a skidder. Very well read by Airi. Outside the line of off stump. He doesn't have to do that. He can just play this over. Plenty of balls to go to get those runs.
Good diving stop at extra cover. But Airi will keep the strike. 17 ball, 120 for 5. Paresh for Nepal, the challenge is ahead now. 4 more Super 6 games. We know they will have to play UAE and Qatar. Definitely.
আমার রোহনে বড় বেশি কই দুষ্টামি করে কালি মাজনিখা সকলোকে ঘৰৰ
Tournament UAE at the top. There's always a rivalry between Nepal and UAE. We have seen that UAE might want to, return the favor what Nepal did in the earlier qualifier.
Going to be Sakurano to have a ball. Rio Sakurano Thomas in for his third. He's picked up the 1 wicket. Yeah, just trying to work out exactly when that game will be. I think it's going to be Sunday afternoon. If Nepal win this game, as Airi powers that one out towards the cover sweeper, that would be a case then of Group A first versus Group B first. Afternoon game at this main ground. That could be a box office clash, and that's our first day back after the rest day tomorrow.
Yes, it will be a box office. Like I said, there's a rivalry between UAE and Nepal.
The El Clasico, the Associate El Clasico is what they call it.
It was not only now. It's not only now. Always, whenever we played 25 years ago.
To your days as well. Well, speaking of 25 years back, this is the first international between these two sides in 25 years. Japan have really had their moments. They've been very impressive. But I think Nepal are going to have enough to get home. Gulshan Jah, the standout for you today, he's had a big impact on the game.
Yes, he is. The way he bowled the second over, getting rid of the captain Fleming, who was going guns blazing. Just to break that partnership.
In fairness to Japan, they continue to fight, don't they? There's been a real period of prominence in this match for them. We both felt at the 12-over mark in that first innings that the game was slipping away from Nepal.
Yeah, credit goes to Gulshan Jah. He hasn't bowled yet. He didn't bowl in the West Indies series. He didn't bowl in the warm-up matches. He didn't bowl against Kuwait. Came in and bowled here, took 2 wickets. Full toss, hit it down the ground. 6.
Yeah, much more like it from Gulshan Jah. Couple of dots, and then he just smashes that one to the heavens. He's such a special cricketer, isn't he? He has this incredible ability to impact matches, whatever he does. You think of the catches against the West Indies, the wickets today, and now a couple of maximums. They get Nepal right to the brink. Wasn't a great delivery, but it's incredible to think he's just 19. His ceiling as a cricketer, Paresh, could be so high.
Only 19, and look at his character. It's like 29 years of age.
Yeah, remarkable. Really, really, truly remarkable. Going to try and finish it. The scores are level. Nepal are on the brink, and they probably deserve this victory. It's given their 12th player the reward for coming here in such good numbers, and you can't help but argue that Nepal will win this group now, and they'll win it in some style.
Yes, this was a thick outside edge over the short third fielder for a boundary. And just the run needed to complete the victory and to carry 2 points to the Super Sixes for Nepal. I give credit to Japan the way they fought.
Well, the field has come in to try and drag it to the 19th. But that'll be that, and Gulshan Jha will fittingly hit the winning runs. Nepal, they win by 5 wickets, and they take 2 points in the Super Six, much to the delight of their fans.
Today again.
Yes, at the last day, it was a comprehensive victory for Nepal. Credit goes to Gulshan Jha and Dipendra Singh Aire, the way they batted, the way they were calm in the middle after losing 2 early wickets of Rohit Paudel and Kushal Malla. Nepali fans very delighted, exuberant, with the unique flag of Nepal, with the Nepal t-shirts in the media box. They're out here in numbers. Each and every fan chanting Nepal, Nepal. You can see there on your screen. Nepal winning the game by 5 wickets and going to the Super Sixes as group winners of Group B. Now they're gonna face UAE on Sunday, 12th of October, in the first clash of the Super Sixes in the afternoon, 2:30 p.m. local time. Look at the batting card. Kushal Bhurtel, run ball 21. Asif Sheikh with 2 big sixes, 38 for 21. Rohit Paudel, 18. And Dipendra, 14. And Gulshan Jha again, 28 unbeaten. Bowling card of Japan, only Shoma Sugia Slater taking 2 wickets, whereas Ravichandran 1 and Suzuki Makom 1 apiece. Now we're going to look at some highlights of the second innings when Nepal batting. It all started with Kushal Bhurtel. It was a very short but beaten short extra and mid off the ball rolling towards the boundary. Some of good hits by Kushal Bhurtel before he got out for 21. Equally good shots played by Asif Sheikh straight down the ground. It was the best of the lot. And the pull shot where Kushal Bhurtel got out, the ball hurried onto him. A very wonderful catch by the captain of Japan, Fleming. And then 2 back-to-back sixes for Asif Sheikh. Almost hit a car there in the parking lot.